I wish I had a Coke. I saw the science experiment once where they put this tooth in Coke, and after a period of a few weeks or days, I don't know, maybe it was just one day, it completely fell apart. Just disappeared. I guess that could happen with a whole set of teeth if we were to sit around with a mouthful of Coca-Cola day and night. I wonder how that would work. Like, would you swallow and then would the teeth grow back in somehow? God, am I stupid? What am I supposed to do? I thought by now I would at least have some kind of extra work or something. I met this girl Sherry at the lunch counter, and she seemed kind of weird, but she turned out to be nice. And she said that one way to break into the movie business is to have a videotape of yourself made. But the problem is that it costs. So I was thinking maybe I could find somebody who has one of those video cameras that you use at home.
Okay. There seems to be a bit of pace coming into it that I'm not quite sure where that's coming from. Any ideas?
Similar pacing every time?
No, actually it just to this last run.
Okay, just this last run.
Yeah. It felt like there was a little, you were living just a little bit less off of the nonverbal. Okay.
Yeah.
Not quite sure why that was, but to a certain extent it could be partially a question of some ambiguity, some sort of background ambiguity about Etta's state at the moment. Let's just give her a state to go with, which would be that she's ADD. So let's say that she doesn't know what's wrong with her, but she's really struggling with it, and it just seems to have to do with nothing feels right, I can't think straight. How hard are you working at what you're doing right now?
In this moment or in the monologue?
No, in this moment.
I'm just listening, I don't know.
You're not working hard at it.
No. I'm just standing and listening.
Well, that's about how hard you need to work at this next run.
Okay.
Here's what I'm getting at. There's a slight tendency to mobilize for a run, which, just to be honest, brings in a little bit of energy that you don't need. And it's actually a trick to let different stuff show up, because if you take away that little bit of wasted energy that you got in there, that's just about performing.
Yeah.
If you get rid of that, then that leaves the door open for more stuff to come up into the monologue. Mentally, you don't need to be working at this next run any harder than you are working at standing there.
Right, yeah. I wish I had a Coke. I saw the science experiment once where they put a tooth in Coke, and after a period of a couple weeks or days, I guess it was just one day, it completely fell apart. It just disappeared. I guess that could happen with a whole set of teeth if we were to sit around with a mouthful of Coca-Cola day and night. I wonder how that would work. Would you swallow and then, like, would the teeth grow back somehow? God, am I stupid? What am I supposed to do? I thought by now I would at least have some kind of extra work or something. I met this girl Sherry at the lunch counter, and she told me that one way to break into the movie business is to have a videotape of yourself made. But the problem is that it costs. I wonder if maybe I could find somebody with one of those videotapes that you use at home.
Cut. Just taking a look. I held off saying cut a little bit longer, primarily because I had more stuff going on after you finished the last line.
Okay.
And it felt a little bit more open-ended.
Okay.
It could keep moving. I probably could have let you go even longer, and it just would have kept turning over.
Yeah.
I think you've got a little bit more room for that before you say the first line, too. It was just right around, God, I'm stupid. And then something shifted there a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
And it was like there was just a little bit of that last little bit of, I just don't care about acting. That last little, it's just all about what's happening to me right now. I'm seeing it moving around, just so you know. And the real trick with this now is just for your experiencing to open up as much as it can. And once again, it's not about content, it's how much you go with what shows up. What you did with, I wish I had a Coke in this last one, actually was working good. It was right on the money. I really wasn't quite ready for you to go. I wanted more of what was going on with you, non-verbally. So the line, I saw an experiment once, kind of was just a little bit ahead of me.
I think a lot of it has to do also with the fact that going into an audition, it's like you feel like you can't afford for it not to be right. Because you get this one chance, and it's like the pressure of it and like the knowledge that you only get to run this once and then you're going to leave, and that might be all that they know of you. So it's like that pressure that I have to do this right.
Yeah, and you really don't.
Yeah.
Because
no, but it
you're
feels
talking about
that
right
way.
Like there's a standard.
I know.
There isn't. You ever hear of taste? Well, that's all over show business. That's why I'm saying you want to go into the room with it pretty open, because the taste sitting in that room is literally going to shift. I don't even explain how this works, but I know for sure it works. They will move you where they want you. You could, at the beginning of this, just mentally ask for the feel that you had in the last third of it this last time around. In terms of general looseness, openness, that kind of thing, and see what shows up. Have I thoroughly confused you?
Not thoroughly, just partially.
Okay, good. That's a good putt.
So let's start there.
Let's go with the confusion.
Okay.